Hey, let's see here. Hey. Okay, I think we got everything here. I see audio output here. I've got my face. We've got audio, so hopefully everything's going correctly. Let me just quickly spin up a instance of this on my phone because I don't want to have egg on my face like last time where I did the stream and the gameplay didn't come out. So let's see here. YouTube. Let's close this. Don't need that. So let's see here. Is it actually playing? Okay. And let's just do a quick jump over to Godot. And let's just play this. Make sure we got audio and stuff coming out. Okay, it's a little quiet, so let me see. Turn this up a little bit. We'll try it one more time. The desktop audio is still very quiet. Let's turn down mine. Let's turn up that and try one last time. I have a feeling my streaming is not outputting my... There we go. And this is why we do testing. So we go up to streaming, we set the output. To I am streaming, so it won't let me change that. Okay, so let's just go back in and we're just going to merge everything together into one. Actually, I wonder if I can just do stop the stream and I'll be right back. Okay, we should be back now. Let's see if this actually gives me the audio. Oh yeah. Okay, one more test with the adjusted audio. Okay, I think we are ready to rock. I need to make a note. I don't have a pen, so I can't do that. I need to make a note to fix this for next time to make sure that I set up my channels properly. So, okay, so a quick summary. Let's see where we are. We are on part 2 of 3 for the Trijam Game Jam. The first week was one-way trip. I misinterpreted it and did one-way out, but close enough. I just want to show you what I have right now. It's called Terminus Squad. So just a real quick, this is what the game looks like an RTS. Just shooting some aliens. Spacebar to open some doors. The big problem I have is the camera does not work very well. And then there is a teleport bug where they get stuck in the walls. Let's see if we can get down to this other door. Yeah, we got stuck in boxes. Okay, go through. And all the enemy spawners are broken, so the enemies aren't spawning. Go through this door. Go into the last room. You gotta go activate the teleporter again, enemy spawners, and you just have a real cheesy "you win" screen. And that's where we are right now with this. So I've got a quick summary here of things that I want to do to try to get this. I need to fix the camera. I need to fix the teleport where we're going outside the ship. Fix pathfinding so things go around walls and stuff a little bit better. Pretty easy little tweaks on that one. Right now I just have the Godot icon as the highlight when a unit is selected. I want to change that into a box, but I need to actually create the box for that. Enemy spawner tweaks, I need to fix that so they don't just suddenly shoot outside the ship. Add an actual game over screen and a win screen. I don't think the game's ever going to be able to win, at least the Game Jam version of it. So we need to add an actual screen. And then right now, maybe tweak the crates a little bit so people aren't going to get stuck. But my idea is I think I'm going to change the map style. Probably do something along, I think it was like this one right here. And try to make this the map that the players go through. I have 3 hours. We'll see if that actually happens. But this week's theme is the reality gets... What is it again? Hold on, let me bring it up here. Trijam. Reality gets stranger the deeper you go. Reality changes the further you go. So that's the theme for this week. So what I have here is the old game for the GameCube, Eternal Darkness, really messed with the players that are playing. So there's things like it would shrink the doors, it would change the volume on your screen and make you think like, hey, did I sit in the remote? Things like that. So I want to do some of those things like a sudden change in audio, just mute the stuff. I have some new tiles and I'm kind of want to flash the tile set and have it overlay on the top of the existing tile so it kind of looks like that, like an Event Horizon type thing where you're just kind of seeing another reality. I also want to make the characters like grow in size and shrink in size. Maybe play some random noises. The other idea I have is like a ghost unit where it appears and it's just like 20% opacity and then it just kind of disappears again. Don't know if I'll get to that or not. But the other idea I kind of want to do is kind of the teleporter ends up bringing you into that really weird reality. And kind of like the end of... I don't remember if it was the end of the first episode of Doom or just the end of all of Doom 1, where you end up in a room just surrounded by enemies and there's no way out and you're just doing that eternal fight. I guess a more modern would be the end of Halo Reach and you're just fighting until you die. It's kind of like what I want to do. Some other changes I want to do, but these are more if I have time. Right now, there's no like tension building, it's just enemy spawn. So I kind of want to add the enemy spawner animation so you can see the crack happen and then it grows, and then the aliens start popping out of it. So as you go further, when you hear the sound, you're like, uh-oh, here come the aliens. We got to build that tension and move on. A lot of players from week 1 didn't have... RTS is not their main style game, so they were a little confused on the controls, so the camera doesn't help either, so I need to refine, maybe make a better tutorial. That one's definitely going to be above and beyond, I think, the Game Jam stuff. I want to add in some music. I've been looking for some. I haven't really found anything that feels very fitting for this Warhammer 40k Space Hulk theme. But if I can, I'll get back there and add something in. I want to add in an options menu, and this more plays into like the sudden mute, where it's like the volume goes down, you have to go into the menu to turn the volume back up. And other things like I'm thinking about messing with the player is normally we bring up the options menu, everything pauses, but as reality gets warped, like suddenly, oh, it's not paused. Now my stuff's happening in the background while I'm trying to fix the volume, things along those lines. These are all animation or unit sprites that I bought off Itch. So there's animations, I need to add those in. That's again not needed, but I definitely want to get that in there. And the other thing is I only have the vertical door right now. Especially if I go to one of these maps, I want to make sure I get a horizontal door in there. So that's where I am. I have 3 hours, 180 minutes to do the actual building. I figured out, putzed around with some other stuff because I'm using the same underlying mechanics that I'm using for dungeon fodder. So the dungeon fodder has the same bugs as this because they're all using the same components. So while plugging away on some dungeon fodder stuff in the background, they figured out, how I can fix the camera, how I can do, fix pathfinding, stuff like that. So I'm going to use what I've learned from dungeon fodder, bring some of those changes over into here. My idea is basically the first hour I want to get all these fixes done, especially from the feedback. The camera was the biggest feedback I got, followed by the game's unplayable because the units are now outside the ship. So I want to get those two fixed. Those are the highest priority. Add some little highlighting, change the selection input, fix the spawner stuff so then the enemies aren't outside the ship. And then add an actual game over screen. I'm a little bit less worried about the crates because I think the more I've thought about this, I think I'm just going to pull them out, or I may just make them circular, and then instead of having stacks of them, I'll just randomly scatter them around so then they're just circles and the nav agent can get around them properly. But we'll see how that goes, where things are in that. So. Okay. So with that, we got our 180-minute timer. I am going to. I'm also going to get some. Put this back over here. You get a little bit of music going from. Yeah. I'll make a video out of it. No. No, you know what? We just talked about it. I'll edit that into a video. And then I'll just make another follow-up one after this. Save me some hard drive space. Okay. So we'll stop the recording. And then we'll get some, let's see. We want lo-fi metal. What do we want today for music? Mega Man. A little synthwave. Let's see. Zelda Cyberpunk. Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's see what this sounds like. We're going to turn down the audio that's going out to the stream. There we go. Make that a little bit. Let's see here. Let's see. So I got that. Let's you think about how to do this here. Yeah, you know, we're going to turn that down. So you guys aren't going to get as loud on the stream. You should be able to hear me. You'll probably get a little. Actually, you know what? We can just mute that and you'll hear it through my speakers. So let me just, never done with the music before, so let me just see how that is actually sounding on this. I'm just going to mute my speakers here. Oh, I shouldn't mute my speakers, I should. Let's see how this is sounding here. Okay, that should be fine. Okay. Okay, and with that, let's go ahead and let's get our focus session started. We're going to jump right into our camera. So let's start this. So let's get into our camera here. Let me see, where did I put the other code? RTS camera. So there's not a whole lot I did here. Let's see, I am bringing over the controller component so then we can focus. I am also going to do one thing here, because the idea is we're going to keep the camera locked on the selected units, but if you manually move the camera, then we want to turn off the follow mode. I think that's the only change I need to do for this. Mouse, 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 handle zoom. Yep, that is all I need to do for that one. So save that. So let's go over here and let's connect that into our RTS controller. Okay, but then in the RTS controller component, I've got some other stuff I need to tie in. So let's see, what did I add in? I added in a follow mode. So after dragon, let's add in follow, a boolean here. And then we're going to add in the, I don't have it yet. So let's add in the physics process. If follow is enabled, we're going to focus on the camera. I think that's about it. I just have to turn on the follow mode. Let's see, where do we want? Draw, select, so probably like right in here. Where do we want the follow mode? Follow. So let's see here. Let's do clicked unit. No, oh yeah, let's turn off the follow here. Okay, so this is where we clear it. We go through here, we select units all the way down here, else. Clearing the units, turn it off because we don't want to follow it here. Selected units in drag. We want to turn this to true because we're going to follow it here. I think that, and then if we refocus the camera, we also want to follow. Okay, so let's just see here. That should make it so then the camera, why is it not updating? Okay, let's see here. What do we do? What did we forget? If follow, focus camera on selection. Okay, so we never did. Let's see. How about if we do a single unit? Okay, if we hit F, it follows them. Okay, you know what? I probably have one of these set wrong. Follow by default is false. If follow is true, we're going to focus on the camera. Let's see here. Is dragon false, false. Single click select. Don't follow here. Yeah, entry player units. Clicked unit equals unit. If clicked unit selected as false, else clicked unit selected as true. Okay, so we're adding it to our selected units. If not, clear it. So I think I need one more follow in here. So let's see, where are we? This is in select units. Set selected. Okay. Set selected true. So right here, I think we need to add that there. Let's see, where do we have this? We got follow, follow. Okay, those are good. Single click select. Yep. And then let's see, where's our next one? The next one is under if clicked unit. Do we want that there? Probably. Okay. And then that's true. Not additive. Click an empty space. Okay. And then oh, this is our single click. So yeah, we definitely want that there. Okay, and that should be there. Okay, let's try this. Let's, whoops. Why are we... Why are we not selecting here? What are we forgetting? Oh, so where is our single click? No, we want the units in drag. Follow is true. It's right here for units and unit selected. Oh. Set selected as false. This should be false. Okay. This should be true. There we go. That's better. Okay. So now we have the camera that follows our units. We just select one of them. It should follow. Okay, so I'm doing something wrong because it's not following that one unless I hit F. Okay. Okay, so if we do a single unit, where are we here? Controller, selected unit, and single click select. If clicked unit, let me take that out of there. Let's see here. If click unit, if additive, follow equals true. Okay, this is just removing them here. If clicked unit. Oh, so this should probably be follow equals true as well. This should be false here. No, wait, we'll leave that's fine. That's fine. This, we'll put this to true. Oops. Put that to true. Okay, so selected unit, set selected, it's true, follow it. Okay, just make sure. Boom. Camera follow. Camera falls. Okay. Okay, done. So let's go back over here. We'll bring up our terminus squad. We can go, hey, look, we fixed the camera. Okay, now let's fix the teleport. Okay. Let's see here. So the teleporter is under the door. We need the vertical door scene. Here we go. Let's see here. What did I do for the door? Let's see. This door is a static body with an area. Okay. We have the navigation area so we can go through. Let's see. So the problem we have, let's see if I can simulate it for you guys. Let's see. I'm wasting time doing that. Basically, it teleports them up into the part of the ship that they're not in. So let's see here. We got that. Okay. Let's add in. We get the trigger to open the door. Let's add in a shut trigger. So then when we go through, we'll trigger the door to shut. This will allow us also to do, if I go forward in the other design, it'll give us the one-way doors, which is something I think is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what else we can do here with this. Let's see. We have the exit spawn point. We have the collision shape. We have the trigger to unlock the door. I'll have to add in another thing in the future if I want the door to start unlocked already. Here's our unlock door. Opening. Wait for the animation to finish. Okay. On-door trigger. We want to go through here. Okay, so this, we're going to replace this because this is just reposition the global position. And the problem I have is the navigation agent still has its old data, so we have to clear that out. So let's go through. I'm going to pull in. Let's see here. Let's do this. Let's just pull in here. Okay. We're going to copy this. We're going to pull in all these functions I have from Dungeon Fodder. Let's put these in here. Clear any path steering, so that's what we definitely want. Zero out their velocity, so they stop moving. Perfect. Okay, so then we need to change this to. We're gonna slightly change this, and what we're gonna do is we're going to do unit and player units, yep, for squad unit. So this was going through it individually. We're going to do the entire squad instead. So let's just copy this. So let's take our entire squad of units, put that in here, and then lock the door. Okay, so this, in theory, should safely move our units. Over in our units, let's see, where are we here? Let's go to level 1. We don't need this teleport anymore. We can get rid of that. So we're not going to teleport them. Okay, so let's go check this. Let's make sure the door works. Over here, grab these guys, come over here. We should no longer. Hey, look at that. We're spaced out nicely. We're not on top of the ship. Let's try another door. Get out of there. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go through this door. Hey, let's just send one of you through. Boom. And they're all there. And they're not up here. They're not down there. Okay. Good. Okay. So we got that. Let's go back over here. Let's look at our checklist. Say, hey, we got our teleport fixed. Okay. Let's work on the pathfinding so you know we keep getting stuck. So let's do some updates on our pathfinding here. Let's see, where do we want to start with that? Let's start with the sergeant. Do I have the sergeant open? I don't have the sergeant open. There he is. Let's go down to his nav agent. Okay, let's turn on avoidance. 10. What do I want to do with him? So first off, let's do 2025. Yeah, 25. I like 25. That's a good number. This is just making sure that, you know, if he's within 25 of the wherever he's going to, 25 pixels, that he's going to consider himself reached. So let's see, avoidance. Let's see, what do we want to do for avoidance? We definitely want to turn it on. I think 10's fine. You know what? Let's make it 20. You know, keep him a little bit further away from each of the other units. I don't think we really need to tweak anything else in there. So let's see. Yeah, let's see what that does. So we'll save. Oh, let's do the same thing actually to the warriors. Where is it? Space warriors. Here we go. Nav agent. Where's my navigation agent? There it is. Okay. So let's set this to 25. turn on avoidance, and what did I set the Sergeant for again? Avoidance 20 and 500. Okay, so Space Warrior 20, 500 is fine. Okay, let's give that one a go. Let's just see how that works. Still gets a little stuck in the boxes, but they don't seem to get stuck as easy. A little bit better. I think once I get rid of the boxes, or you know what, let's take a look at those crates. Because right now, if I do a debug, and we look at the visible collision shapes, if we look at that, you can see I made these match up. So when it comes to trying to avoid the boxes, it's very, very difficult to do. So let's go into our crates. Crates. Okay, let's look at our scene. Okay, so you know what? Let's do either make them much bigger or make them circular. Let's make them much bigger. I like that idea better. 16, you know what? Let's do 18. So let's add 4, 14. So if we save that, if we go back and look at this again, they're going to be much bigger. It's going to be harder to get stuck on because you can't. It's also going to be harder to squeeze past them, but now they're going to keep moving. Let's see here. How do they do going past these? Yeah, I think I'm going to end up just kind of... Let's change them to a circle. Screw it. Let's see. What does a circle do? Let's save that. You know what? Let's just turn off that debug because it's really hard to see. Let's see how they do with this. Oops. Go back to the game. I have a feeling that the circles are actually going to cause more problems than... actually... They do seem to be riding around a lot better on the boxes with the circles. Okay. Good enough for now. We don't have to be perfect. We'll just get the game jam going. So, okay. So that's done. So let's see here. Let's go back over to our stuff. We got pathfinding. We changed the boxes. We'll most likely pull them out. Let's do selection highlights. Let's do that next. ASD. A sprite. Let's bring up some A sprite here. We'll put this over here. Okay, let's do a file new. Let's make it 32 by 32, transparent. Yeah, that's fine. Let's zoom in here. Let's make it a 2-pick. Let's make it white. And do I have a line tool? Here we go. You know what? Let's use a box. So if I do that, and then let's take our eraser. Let's make it. So if this is 32, let's make it 16. Yeah, that works. 16. So then we can take out like the center. Boom. 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 There we go. So now we should have a little selection box. So let's do file. Export as. Let's call it a select box. Let's go put that. You know what? I might use this again. So let's do a PNG, select box, save, export. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's bring up our file explorer to our created assets. SSSST select box. Here we go. Let's go back over here, clear this all out. Hey, sorry there, Mr. Clock. I need you to get out of the way for a second. Props, sounds, tile maps. We'll just drop it in this main section here. Boom. Give it the select box here. Okay. Now if we go into Space Sergeant, and this one's the selection indicator. Let's take a look at that. And we're going to replace that with our selection box. Boom. We're going to change the scaling of it. Oh, right. These are 16 by 16. So let's move this around. Let's put that right on dead center. Oh, let's actually put it up by 2. Does that look about center? Yeah, sure. That looks about center. No, this might be a 0.4. Yeah. And then let's make sure it stays behind the parent. Okay. And we'll save that. And we're just about break time, so let's do the same thing here. Let's copy this over. And let's go to the Space Warrior and we'll paste that on. Okay, and we'll hide, save, do a quick run. Okay, so it's not quite working. And let's go ahead and let's just skip. And won't let me skip it, but okay. So we got that. That's not quite working out the way I want it to. Okay, so let's do, because it looks fine here, but it needs to be thicker. Okay, so let's go back in. Oops, you just had it there. Hey, sprite. Okay, so let's go back in here. Let's make it 5 pixels instead. That's 1 pic. I said 5. Nope, that's 15. 5. 5 pics. There we go. Okay, let's go back to our eraser tool. Oh wait, we want to do properties. Oops, not properties. We want to do sprite size. Make sure we want to make it 16 by 16. Okay, so let's do it that way. Let's do another line. Let's make it a little bit thicker there. There we go. Let's do our eraser 16, so let's make it 8. 8. Thank you. Do I want to do it that way, or do I want the full line? It's a good question. Yeah, let's do the full line. Okay. So let's go back into our, where is it? Created assets. Boom. Select box. Let's bring it back in here. Redo it. Okay, selection indicator. Let's put this back to its regular size. Okay, and then same with Space Warrior. Regular size. We'll turn off visibility. Okay, let's try this and see how it works. Okay, this one's still got the old. Okay. You know what? It's probably because. Oh, because it. That's why. Delete. Selection indicator. Bring that back up here, or that. What was the position I did for this one? -2. -2. Reset the size. Save it. Oh, I didn't do the show behind. Show behind parent. There we go. Save. So we can still see their health bars. Yeah. I think I'm gonna end up erasing it and saving that. Let's try that instead. Oh, that's not the one. I don't need 2 copies of create assets open. Here we go. Okay, bring that back in here. Save it. Yeah, I think that looks better. Now you can see clearly which ones are selected. Okay, can't select individuals very well. Okay, now is the Okay, so let's see here. Let's check off the selection highlight. Okay, we're about a half hour in. Let's see if we can get our enemy spawner tweaks here going. Enemy spawner. Okay. So let's take a look here. Oh, let's add in an animation player. We can put you back down over here. Okay, animation new, and let's call it opening. That would be crack open. It's a good question. What the heck would I call that? Let's call it, yeah, you know what? Crack sounds good. Crack. Okay. And then we're going to key in the animation. How did I do this? Oh, I did region. Yeah, no, let's get rid of the region. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 23 frames. Okay, so let's do 23 frames. Turn off that. Okay. Okay, and then so here in the animation player, we need to, we need to key in the frame key. Create a reset. Let's do continuous because I'm lazy. There's, you know what? Let's make this faster. Let's do this at 1.0. Okay, insert a key. This is going to be frame 22 because there's 23 frames. Okay, that might be a little too fast. Let's do it 2.0. So just a hair bit faster than 2.3 seconds. Okay. Okay, this is going to bug me if I don't do it at 2.3 because then it's not going to match the frame rate of everything else. Okay, so we got that. Let's add in one more thing. Let's add in an audio stream player. Oh, you know what? Let's also go here. Let's add a bus. Let's add a, I don't have anything right now, but this will save me time later. Music bus, and this will be sound effects. Okay, so go back over here. Let's put this in the sound effects. Let's go back to the animation. Let's add a track, audio playback track. Okay, and then we're using. I have a sounds. Which one was I using for this? That's a good question. I think there's like a metal. Space metal. Here we go. Huh. Well, you know what? I don't really have time to find something else, so let's use that for now. I'll just shrink it down. We'll use that later part. Let's see. Let's zoom out. So let's see here. Let's use. From like right here. Okay. Clean that up, make that save. Okay, so then this is our crack. Okay, and then we also need a new, let's have them opened, and then we're going to key in a frame, create. You know what, let's just set this to 0.1. Animation duplicate, this would be closed. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we got that, we got that. Okay, now let's go look at our script for this. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we need? We have enabled. We have the spawn enemy. We have the timer, the spawn limit to say how many are out at a time. Let's add in two more things. Let's add in an exit door and a trigger. And let's also add in our animation player. Okay, let's move the count. I'm gonna move that. Where am I moving this to again? I'm doing the count. So let's see. When we're ready, let's do the animation player to play. And we want to do closed because it's not going to be available, so the players won't see it yet. If there's a trigger, let's connect to the trigger. Trigger.trigger .connect, and we're going to then enable the spawner. Okay, and then we'll do else elif enabled, and if it's enabled, then we'll do this stuff. Okay, off enabled, and then we're going to move this right here. We're going to put that into our function enable. Okay. If enabled, we'll do enable. Okay, and then else. Oh no, we're going to do if there's an exit door. If exit door, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do the exit door dot shut dot connect, and that's going to go to our disable function. Okay. So we got our function enable. So let's see. The disable is just going to be the opposite of this one. Oops, bonk, bonk, bonk. So if there is a timer timeout connected, disconnect it. Okay. Let's see, what else do we need? Oh, I know. First we need an animation player play, and we want to play the crack because we want it to open, and then we're going to await animation player dot animation finished. And then we're going to do animation player dot play. We're going to just play the opened, and then we're going to set up the timers. Okay. This might be too long. We may want to spawn right off. So as soon as it's opened, we may want to call a spawn. Let's do that. We're going to add shot spawn. Actually, you know, instead of duplicating this, we're just going to call this on timer timeout. Okay. And then we'll set the timer. Okay, so that should be good for the enable. Don't think anything else I need. So I want to do the safe teleport with these guys too. Well, let's see how they work. Let's see how they work. Spawns, they come right out instantly. Okay, we still got some of them that are warping around. Okay, so we've got some weird things going on here. Okay, animation player, animation, open. Okay, so the open can be loopable, closed can be loopable, crack, definitely want one-time playthrough. Okay, so we'll save that. We'll have closed as our default, but just we don't need it. We got that going, so that's fine. So let's see here. What do we got going on? We've got. Let's look at our enemy spawner. What do we have now? We have an exit door. So let's assign the exit door. Do we have a trigger? Do we want a trigger? I don't think we do we? No, because I kind of want that to happen right off. Okay. Yeah. And this just made me realize something. I'm thinking about all this, but this, I don't have. I got trigger, I got shut. Okay. So I think I got what I need there. Okay. So let's go back here. Let's look. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that should stop them. They're not stopping spawning. Okay, so we missed something in the enemy spawner. What? I missed the thing. Trigger connect. Shut is declared, but never. Oh, I never called shut in the door script. Okay. Unlock door, door trigger on lock door. we need to call shot emit. Yeah, that would be a that'd be very useful to you know what, let's move it to the top here. Let's shut that right instantly. Nope. What is this for? This is yeah, we don't need that. Oh, this is my simple win command. Okay. Okay. So this should, as soon as we go through this door, should stop these enemies from spawning. And there's no more enemies spawning. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay, so we got that. Where are we? What were we working on again? Enemy spawner tweaks. Okay. Okay, so we got that. We got this. Enemy spawner. Okay. Let's actually pull in the door. Our safe teleport stuff here. Clear, safe teleport. Let's borrow these. Let's go over here to the enemy spawner. We're going to reuse these commands, but we're going to slightly tweak them. Let's see here. So this is all nav agent. That's fine. Nav agent's fine. These are the nodes. That's fine. If there's any orders, cancel them. That's fine. Save teleport squad. Okay, so this is where we want to change this, because this is going to be the spawned enemy. So let's see here. What do we want to do? Let me think through this here. Do I want to do... Okay, this is going to be one of those things where do as I say, not as I do. The proper way to do this would be to spin it so it's only one, but you know what? To make this faster, let's just make this into an array. Spawn is going to be an array. We're going to make it a blank array, and then we're going to do spawn dot up. Oops, sp append. And then we're going to do spawn enemy. Okay, so that appends it. We're going to add child spawn 0. Whoops, 0. Okay. We're going to increase our count plus equals 1. Oops, count plus equals 1. And then we're going to do spawn 0. And then we're going to do the tree exited dot connect. Oops, helps if I use the right punctuation here. Dot connect, and we're gonna do a left tree so we can keep count of these guys. Left tree, okay. And then we need, let's see, we append it. Oh, before we do that, we need to teleport it. So let's do our safe teleport squad. We're going to send in the spawn array, and we're going to send in the global position of that. Okay. Let's add in our func left tree. Oops, forgot to see in func. Function left tree. Void, and then this is just going to be count minus equals 1. Oops. Minus equals 1. Okay, so that'll keep track of that. Okay, so with that being said, let's go back to room 1. Let's look at our enemy spawner, which is right here. We're connecting it to the vertical door. We don't have a trigger for it. So when it leaves, when this door shuts, it'll turn off the spawner. We have a spawn limit of 3, and it comes every 0.5 seconds. Let's see, does that sound like a good plan? it's the intro room, so let's put it back to 1. Yeah, let's try that. So we should never have more than 3 in the room at a time. 1, 2. Okay. Oops. Open. Okay, and then we go through. 1, 2, 3, and gone. Okay. We got those guys there. And we still got a little funkiness there with our nav agents. Oh, look, we still got some guys outside the wall. Okay, so we may just have to move on. Whoa! What the heck happened there? Everybody died, looks like. Okay, so when people die, we need to reset that. What's it called? Oh, you know what? Instead of trying to rewrite this and try to make it all shiny happy, I think I'm just going to pull in my dungeon fodder one. Let's see. Game development. Where was I? That would be... components. Let's see here. RTS controller. Copy that. Let's go back into here. RTS controller. Space that in. Save that. Let's see here. What else? Let's just make sure. We're going to bring in our camera. Don't think there's anything else here I need to really change, but let's give that a go. Oh, yep, I forgot. Camera, controller, we need to assign the camera. Okay, let's try that. What are you talking about? Oh, did I? Got so carried away. This controller component. I just overwrote my controller component. That was stupid of me. Okay, so... oh, duh. Because I just redid this. I need to reassign the camera. Okay. There we go. Okay, now let's make sure that when someone dies, it doesn't just go all wonky and... okay, someone died, it didn't go all wonky. But now they're not targeting me properly, but okay. Okay. So let's see here. You know what? That's going to be good. Let's do the game over screen. Okay. And let's see, did I... okay, so let's see here. I asked... so kind of like this is the idea that I kind of came up with. So let's see if we can kind of duplicate something like that in Godot. So let's see here. Let's go to scene, new scene. Let's just do a user interface control. Let's go back to 2D. This is going to be... we're going to cover everything with it. Okay. We're going to do add child node. And let's do a texture rec. That is going to cover the entire screen. Texture. Do gradient texture, or do we want to do it? Yeah, we'll do a gradient texture, that's fine. Width 320, 180. Do it that way. I also want to do it. No, this way. There we go. Looks nice and like dark, like raw. Okay. Then let's add in child node. Let's add in a label. And let's put, you know what, let's add in actually a VBox. Let's put the label in the VBox. The VBox is going to go dead center. Label. This one will be mission failed. And then let's see here. Let's set up the font, quick load. Mission failed. Okay, and let's modulate it a little bit. Modulate. Let's do it like that color. Okay. I'm just going to call this mission failed. I'm going to duplicate that. This one's going to be, it's going to say all, oops, it's all units lost. Oh, let's change the font too. What size is a good size for this one? 16? Sure. There we go. All units lost. ACHER. Arkham's Fall. Terminus squad. Okay. And let's make sure we center these. Okay. Mission failed. Just recenter that again. Just curious, what's this look like? Let's rename this to game over screen. I'll save that. Do I have a menu? I don't. Okay, so let's just do a new folder. Yeah, menu. I'll just call it menu. Game over screen. Save. Mission failed. All units are. Okay. And then we're going to do this. So let's add in panel box, panel container. Inside the panel container, let's add in HBox. And inside, we're going to add in Control C. Control V. Nope. Delete. That's not what I wanted. I was trying to copy this. Copy. Paste. Okay, and then this one is going to say enter to retry. quit, and this one will be escape. And this one, let's see, actually both of these, we want the layout to be, no, not layout, it's sizing, fill. There we go. We want them to both be fill, and this one we want to be right. Right? Each box container. This one. Why is that not? Clip contents. Oh, expand. Expand, and we want this one to be on the left. This one we want expand it, and we want it to be on the right. Okay, these I'm going to change the see if we can get to like a darker gray color. There we go. Boom. And then this styles line color, not the same color as the text. Boom. Okay. Okay, maybe not style box. It's oh, there we go. That's what I want. Border color. Okay. I don't want any of that. Border width. We want 2. One thin line. There we go. One line. Where is our expand margins? 2. Oh. Okay, so we got mission failed. Okay, but I also want this to be a different color. Modulate. There we go. There. There we go. Mission failed. Okay. We can add some hacks there and there. Let's add, you know what? I want to do one more thing. Let's do, I don't want any of the stuff inside of it. as I want this to be on the left. Texture rack. I want it to be that big. I want it to be a gradient texture 2D. What's the height is 180. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? No. That big. Visibility. Modulate. Pick a color. Red. I want to make it there we go. Mission failed. Okay. And then I can add in stats right there if need be. Okay, so let's see here. We have been... Oh, you know what? I can just look at my... Been streaming for an hour. Okay, so... Last thing we have to hook up is the actual failure. So when we actually die, we need to display the screen. So if I go back into... Where do I want to do that? Probably... This is going to be our controller for the game. So let's see, level 1. We got ready, win connect, show win. Here we go. Let's just do... We'll keep that in here. Let's put this in. Get all the player units. If it's less than that, instead of printing game over, we're going to go to get tree. Change scene to file. And we're going to do game over. Okay. So we'll say that, oh, you know what we need? We need to add in a input handler for this game over screen. We don't care about any of this, don't care about any of that, we don't care about process, we care about function unhandled input. If event is key pressed, if event is action pressed UI cancel CL. Oops, I gotta put it in. Is action underscore pressed UI cancel. So this is the escape key. We're gonna get tree dot. We'll just quit for now. If event is action pressed UI accept get tree change scene to file, and we called that level one there. So save. Okay, that should be it. So if I load this screen, that should quit the game. Yep. Okay, now if I press enter, it should start the game. Yeah, there we go. Now let's just make sure it works. If I die, we'll go to where there's a bunch of aliens. Okay, come on, come chase me. Still got some. Oh, I know why. We still got. I gotta fix the. I gotta add triggers to the spawner so that they don't pre-spawn. Okay, come on. Kill me. Kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me. Stand right here. That'll get us. Okay, this is not working. Okay, well, I know a better way to test this. Let's go back to room 1. Let's go to our enemy spawner. Let's do a spawn timer 0.1. And we'll do 5. It'll be just too many to handle. Boom, boom. And then this should give us the game over screen. Let's. Yay! Okay, so let's look at this window here. Boom. We can check off real game over screen. Okay, so now we are into the... Oh, no, I got one more thing I need to do. I need to make the enemy spawner trigger for all these rooms. So let's go into room... room 1's fine. Let's go into room 2. Okay, so in room 2, I need something... inside the door, probably right here, to then trigger the spawners. So let's call them yeah, let's just make an area 2D, and we'll do a okay, let's do that. Add child node and area 2D. We'll add a collision node to it. We'll make it a rectangle because, you know, that's nice and easy. Let's go here. Let's move it. Where is it? It's up there. Let's move it right to here. Let's, yeah, just to be on the safe side, we'll make it bigger. Alternate. There we go. We're going to call this enemy spawn trigger. And you know what? Let's save this as a scene. Save as, where am I? Branch as scene. We'll call it a component. We'll put in the enemy spawner, enemy spawn trigger. Save. Okay. So in here we need to add a script. Enemy spawn trigger. Create. Okay. Enemy spawn trigger. That's area 2D. We add a signal trigger. Okay, on ready. We can do a body. Oops, body entered. Dot connect. Emit trigger. Just make that nice and stupid simple. Don't need the process function, emit trigger. We gotta take in the body. We're not gonna put anything out. We're gonna say if body, actually we don't need the underscore because we will be using it. So if body is in group, group, and we're going to use player units, just so then the bad guys, if they walk in, it doesn't do it. Trigger emit, and then we're going to do body entered dot disconnect emit trigger. So then we don't trigger it multiple times, and then just to be extra safe, we'll queue free it as well. Okay, so we save that. So in room 2, let's go back over here. Let's go ahead and we'll just move this up so they're right next to each other. So let's take both of these. Let's assign the enemy spawn trigger to them. So they shouldn't trigger until we're there. And then their exit door, it's going to be the vertical door. So then when we leave this one, I'll turn those off. Okay. So that works good there. So let's go to room 3. Let's do the same thing. Room 3. Let's enemy. Jesus. Enemy spawn trigger. Let's add that in right there. Okay. And then we have 3 enemy spawners. So let's assign those to that. And then the exit door to that. Okay, so that should be that. Let's go to room 4. Room 4. Okay, let's add in our spawn trigger here, right inside the door. Again, let's group it up here with the spawners. These ones won't have an exit door, so let's just put it to the trigger. Okay, so now it should trigger only when we enter the rooms. So right now we should only have this one. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, wow. I forgot I overdid that one. Okay, now I'll stop that one from spawning. No enemies. We go into this room. We heard them. Yeah. Okay. And then should say, oh, you know what I should do? I should go back here. You win, and then that should kick back to a title screen, but I don't have a title screen. So why don't we just have it restart? Yeah, let's just do that. Oh, actually, you know what? I can do my game over screen. Here we go. Mission failed. Save scene as. We'll just make a duplicate. We'll say game over screen, game win screen. Okay, so we can keep everything the same. Well, instead of saying mission failed, let's change that to mission success. And let's change the color to a green. Mission success. And we'll go down here. We'll say unit extracted. Units extracted. Well, no, we'll just call it squad extracted. That's squad extracted. squad extracted. And then down here, instead of replay. Okay. So this is the game win screen. So if we go back here, copy. So instead of show win, boom, we just changed the scene. Okay. Real quick run through of this. Boom. We'll make it so we can win. We can get through here. Get through up here. Boom. I need to add in some sound so we know that the terminal's interacted with. Oh, duh. Well, it works. I just have to put in the right screen. It's a game over screen. I need to do game win screen, right? Yeah, game win screen. There we go. Okay, so now we have that. We have the win. We have that condition. We fixed that. Okay. Oof. Okay. We're getting a little low on time here. Okay, now we need to bring in our... Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's go into... Boy, getting frazzled here. Let's bring in my... What's it called? Okay, let's bring in a reality bend here. Let's do here. Let's do this. Space Sergeant. Okay, let's add child node. No, you know what? I think I have a component. Hold on. Let me see if I have a component. Yes, I do have a component. Okay, so let's go component. We have a reality bend component. Let's bring that right in here. Reality bend. Okay, so let's add a reality bend component. Okay, so let's, there's a sprite. Oops, health bar. Look at that. Red and yellow make orange, red and let's do that. A phantom scream. Do I have a scream? Let's see. Hold on. That's bone crack. No, I do have a, wait. Yeah, let's use that. Okay, and then I gotta remember how this works. Okay, so I just have to call this stuff. Okay, so let's cut that out of here. And then we're good. Okay, so let's save this here. Okay, so let's think through. Let's do the level 1. So let's trigger something different each time. Let's do... Let's go into room 2. Let's add in... How am I going to do this? So I need a way to signal, because right now I just have it on interact. Well, you know what I could do? I could just go back to the reality bend, and then I could just have it do... I could just have it do a random one of these. If actions interact, then we could just do... Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 to 3. Oh. How about rand event? There we go. Match rand event. 0 will be play the phantom scream. 1 will be the size jitter. 2 will be corruption. 3 will be the time warp. Underscore anything else will be maybe play phantom scream. Okay. So save. So right now this should only affect the sergeant, and it'll be each time I hit the interact button. Okay. So back here. Okay, so something's not quite working here. Unable to find audio stream player. Oh, okay. Agile node audio stream player. Okay. So we got that. Okay, and whoops. Slow time, let's do 0.5. Let's do a 0.8. No, 0.5. Fast time 1.5. Duration. Let's do a max scale of 2. Okay. Let's make that last for 2 seconds as well. Okay. Whoops. I added a cue. Gotta be more careful with my keyboard. Okay. So we got the reality bend. Okay, let's go back into our checkbox here. Let's see what we have. Characters randomly grow, random noises. Okay. What I gotta do? Oh, I think I need a global. Yeah, I need a global audio manager where I can just randomly like shut off the bus. The other thing I want to do is I want to do the random tile shift. Okay, so first let's get the tiles built. Okay. Room 4. 2D. Yeah, room 4 definitely will be the one. Let's add in, let's shrink all this down. Tile map layer. Tile map layer. I'm going to call this corrupted tiles. Okay. New tile set. Oh, do I didn't bring in the new tile set yet, did I? Sounds, tile maps. I did not. Okay. Game development. OneDrive. Where are you? OneDrive. Why am I spacing? Here we go. OneDrive. Game development. Assets. Mini Fantasy. Oh god, what was that called? It was called the Warplands. There we go. Warplands. That's fine. Warplands. Tile set. I don't have time to make it animated, so we'll just use these. Okay. I'm going to rename this to Warped. (16 by 16), which I believe are these 8 by 8. I don't remember. Where did I set the other one to? Let's look at the other tile map. 8 by 8. Okay. 8 by 8. These are just going to be an overlay, so no need to put those on there. Okay. Tile set. Let's bring it in. Let's auto-populate it. Okay. Okay. And let's see. What do we want to use? I think the blue. Ooh, purple. Purple might look good. Okay. And then let's add a script in here. And let's just call it, yeah, sure, let's corrupt the tiles, that's fine. Let's add an export of min, what's it, what I want to say, min flash. Yeah, sure. And then this one will be max flash. Non-ready. We want to do timer. Okay. Timer dot timeout. Connect. Flash. Function flash. Boom. Void. And we're going to take the visible equals not visible. So then we'll just invert it, and then we'll do timer dot wait time equals random f range min flash comma max flash timer dot. That should be fine, right? Okay, so that works, but let's do if visible modulate. Oh no, let's do a let's do a var tween equals get, or no, just create tween property. There's a tween dot tween property. The property is going to be self mod modulate, and then final value. So right now, if it is visible, so the final value is going to be 0. The duration will be, this will be the random Why is it not modulating? Okay. Quick, come on, Googles. Tween callback. Okay, tween the property, tween interval. Waiting for a tween to complete. Great to tween. Make it tween. Tween connect. Okay. Okay, we're on break time. We haven't had any chance to do a break time. Okay. On tween finished. Oh, okay. We forgot to pass something in, didn't we? Corrupted tiles, type mismatch between color and int. Oh, right. I need to do the alpha. Modulate color. How do I just do alpha? White, comma 0. Can I just do it that way? There we go. Doop, doop. We're just turning it off. We're not doing the modulate. Should be greater than 0. Oh, right, because I never... Minimum time is 2 seconds, maximum time is 4. Boom. Okay, so we're fading out, but we're not fading in. Why are we not fading in? Oh, because we're not visible. Okay. So instead of using visible, let's make a new variable that's just a boolean. Boolean Um, we'll just call it corrupt. Okay. So copy. So here, if corrupt, if not corrupt, okay, because we don't actually want to turn off visibility, we just want to fade it. That up to 4 seconds, it should fade out. And then it'll fade back in. Okay, good. Okay, so we got that. What we can do is we can make this like much faster here for like the last room, and like throbbing in and out. I'll probably get rid of the floor, but we have the general idea now. So then, if I just do corrupted tiles and timer, let's just copy these. Let's go into room 3, 3D. Let's paste them. We're gonna put these up here, right after this. This corrupted tiles. We're going to go back here. We're going to select everything. Oops, control. We're going to do that. And then in here, I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do like patches on the wall. Just like random spots. Okay, and then actually I feel like this should be, the fade in would be I want crossfades to be slowly seep. So let's do like 3 to 6 seconds for the crossfade. Same with this. Make sure I keep these as reels. So now if I were to play the game, we get some weird effects happening there. Come up to here, like, hey, we're shooting people. What's going on here? Call deferred instead. Okay, I don't get that one, but sure. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's take a look at our cello board. Let's see what we got here. We've got the tile shifts. I still want to do the audio mute. What are we at for timing? I am at 2 hours. Okay. 2 hours. Okay. I may just pause here and resume this. I'll pause it on my next break here. Okay. When I do the sudden mute, it means I need an audio manager. Let's see. Do I have an audio manager? Let me check my other folder here. Boom, 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 boom. That's my tile set. I don't care about that. Let's see. Do I have an audio manager over here? Boop, boop, boop. Components. So got that. What would they... I'm going to need to think about this because I need a global way to mess with the player. So I'm going to do something with the camera. Yeah, this is too much. I need to scale some of this back. So I think what I'll do, let's go into just room 4. Corrupted tiles. Give me the eraser. I'm just going to go whoop. Rip, rip, rip. Oh wait, where's the eraser? Eraser, there we go. And just randomly clean some things up here. Oh no, I want to make this one shorter. I'll make this one between 0.1 and 0.3. Oh wait, how do I do a tween? So if it's corrupt, let's have it fade. Fast to slow. Fast come in, slow fade out. Right? Or do I have it? Is that backwards? I had it backwards. So. Excuse me. Okay, let's try this and then we're going to take a break. Come on. Oh, oops. Yeah, put it back into control mode. Why did that do that? That's weird. Hmm. Whatever. Anyway. Okay. So we're going to take a break. I'm going to stop streaming. We're going to come back and we'll do the last hour. Well, a little less. What do I have left? I have 50 minutes. Okay. So I'll let that count down. I want to come back in. I want to get some of this stuff done. Ghost units, teleporter. I think I'm going to add this in. Just because then, if we teleport, we'll go into a new map and go, woo! Or better yet, probably not a new map. We'll just warp to a new spot on the map. Yeah. I think it makes the most sense. Okay. We'll pause that. We will go back over here. We'll pause this. And let's see, where are we? Here. Okay. We'll take a break and I'll probably pick this back up a little bit later. So, till then.